Welcome, everybody, to the Redzone Report, brought to you by Monster Energy, right here on the Built in Buffalo YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. I'm your man, Izzy. We're going to crack this coconut water. We got a week till football, baby. Let's freaking go. Good Sunday evening, Bills Mafia and Sandra L. King. I see you there in the comments. Welcome back. And to all the rest of you who will jump in here and give me some comments and some feedback, I am happy to say that football season is finally freaking back. Let's go. Cannot wait until next week. The Buffalo Bills host the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday in Orchard Park at Highmark Stadium. It's back, baby. It's freaking back. I'll be going to a tailgate at my daughter's job at Bubba's 33 here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Well, I don't live in Fayetteville, but it's close enough. And going to spend some time with them before the game, and then I'll be coming home for the game. And gonna have a good time. Gonna have a good time enjoying the game. Probably get some nachos at my daughter's job. Both my daughters work there. They're twins. And yeah, it's gonna be a good time, man. Go get some nachos, bring them back, enjoy them during the game. And yeah, just watch our Buffalo Bills dominate the Arizona Cardinals. I cannot wait for that. I'll be doing post game, most likely with Akeem Richards. As far as I know, that's what is going to happen. So Akeem, co-founder of Built in Buffalo, will be doing the post game with me, and I cannot wait, guys. This is going to be so much fun. Football is back. It's back. College football is already back. So I'm fairly good right now, right? But my Buffalo Bills are coming up. They're coming up, baby. Let's go. And so today we're going to talk about the depth chart. I'm going with ESPN's depth chart because the Buffalo Bills have not updated theirs. They still have Matt Milano starting. Clearly, he will not be starting until he comes back, hopefully in December. And yeah, that's why I'm going with ESPN's depth chart. So I'll go over it and, give my thoughts on how it's going to play out. But I see all your comments. Jacob, how you doing? Chris 716, go Bills. You damn right, man. Go Bills. Joey Hatch, what's good, brother? Buffalo Brothers. This is back on the Redzone Report with Izzy. Yes, sir. Yeah, and Sandra. So you guys are all here with me. Very, very usual crowd. And yes, it's exciting. Very, very, very exciting. And so I'm looking at the ESPN depth chart here. And, of course, we already know who our starting quarterback is. It's Josh Allen. Mitchell Trubisky is second on the depth chart. He's questionable for the game, so we're likely going to end up seeing an elevation of Mike White from the practice squad to back up Josh Allen for week 1. Questionable doesn't mean that Trubisky will not be available, but I still see us having that, that emergency quarterback elevation, so our boy will be dressed. But it's going to be interesting what happens with the backup quarterback situation. I don't think it'll be necessary unless we're blowing them out. We need somebody to go out there and, hand the ball off a few times. We'll see. But running back, it's exactly what we expected it to be. James Cook, Ray Davis, Ty Johnson. Ray Davis, I expected to be the second back. From when he was drafted, I expected Ray Davis to be RB2. I think he's going to get a lot more touches than people think. I think that Ray Davis is going to see a lot of the red zone carries. I think that Ray Davis is going to see some real valuable time. I could see him, pushing for 700 to 800 yards this year out of the backfield. To me, he's going to be much more effective than Latavius Murray was last year. Murray started losing steam going down, and of course he was like 34 years old. So what do you expect? We tried using him more than he probably should have been used, but Damian Harris goes down and you have no choice in that matter, or you go find another running back. They pick, Ty Johnson up off our own practice squad, and Ty Johnson was able to supplement that quite a bit. And so Ty Johnson will be taking that same role and potentially returning kicks. They have Ty Johnson as a starter at kick returner on here. So Ty, that's interesting. Him and Brandon Codrington. Darrington Evers is on IR, so he's not available. And then our punt returner is also Brandon Codrington. So I'm guessing that Ty Johnson's going to be the big body in there, while Codrington's most likely the return man. So Ray Davis, RB2. Believe short down back will be a thing. And, man, it's the running game has me excited this year, guys. Having James Cook with his breakout season last year, and then Ray Davis being a guy who had 1,000 yards running on 3 different colleges with 3 different offensive coordinators lets me know that this guy can step into any system and produce. And that's why I'm so excited about Ray Davis. He is just a productive player. That's it. There's no other way to describe him. I think that Ray Davis is going to be a guy who surprises a lot of people in the NFL. I had a fantasy draft yesterday, and I was able to pick him up. And fantasy world has him, very undervalued in my opinion. I picked him up later in the draft, but when I got him, one of our guys was like, "Oh, that was a good pick." I didn't even think about Ray Davis, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm telling you, he's going to have some touches, baby. He's going to have some real touches." So I'm very happy with the backfield. Josh Allen and then James Cook, Ray Davis, and then Ty Johnson on certain downs. Can't wait. Sandra tells me, Izzy, you have that football glow. You are so right. You're so right. Look, I'm already a father. That glow is not coming back, right? I've got 4 kids. My youngest one graduates after this year. That'll be a glow I get when my youngest son graduates. His birthday just passed. I got him a few gifts. Got him a motherboard, and I got a video card on the way for his PC. Then I got him a mountain bike, so he's happy with that. And I'm happy that, he is getting the gifts that he asked for. He didn't want a party. He didn't want any of that stuff. So use that money for these gifts that I want. He's like me, like simple man, simple taste. I already hang out with all my friends every weekend. I don't need a party. My life's a party. I love the attitude that my kids have, so that's great. See, do you mean Tua daddy? Look, the Buffalo Bills as a whole are Tua's daddy. That's just the way it is. He's got 1 win against us and 4 losses? 4 losses? Yeah, we're his daddy. See, Codrington will wear number 29. So on the ESPN thing here, it doesn't show their numbers, but I'll just take your word for it. But I can just click his name. Yep, number 29, Brandon Codrington. I might have to blow my nose, guys. So if I get up, just know that's what it is. My man AJ Rick Aruccio, I think I'm saying that right. Aruccio got 7 kids and 1 on the way and only 1 boy. Ooh, brother, you were doing it big. I thought I was doing it big, because my mom, she had 3. I was the oldest. I am the oldest, and then my dad, but he was one of 12, and so big families mean a lot. The good thing about you being a grandpa of a big family like that, you're not a grandpa yet, I hope, but 8 kids. Those 8 kids are gonna have kids, and then you're gonna have so many little cousins that when you have that many, they end up treating each other like brothers. That's how me and my cousins were as kids. Like, we were all like brothers and sisters because we were always together. You have a big family, the unit usually sticks together. I noticed when you have fewer kids, they're not as close sometimes. But when you have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in my grandmother's case, they're also close. So yeah. See, go Buffalo. Yep. See, I think Josh Allen is the most hated quarterback, but the most overrated. I don't know. I don't know if that's what you meant to say, Anthony, because I know you're a Bills fan. I see you on the round table and here now. But yeah, there you go. I think Josh Allen is the most hated, not overrated. There you go. He's the youngest as well. Okay. So I'm 44. Go fully, not soon. All right. Cousins are your first real friend. Look, my cousins and I are very close. A lot of them. There's certain cliques of cousins too, because like when you have 12, my dad's youngest at 12. His oldest brother's like 20, 30 years older than he is. I think 20 years older than he is. And so like he's got kids my dad's age. And so it's crazy. But it is what it is, you know. But we're off topic here, but it's okay because I love all you guys, and talking family with people who you love and care about it's important, you know. So if any of you guys want to throw anything in the comments about your families, feel free. I will pull it up and say it because family means the world to me. It's the only thing that means more than football to me is family and God. That's it, and country. So God, family, football, or God, family. Yeah, God, family, football. There we go. And this country is my family. I served it for a reason. But yeah. Let's go ahead and get into this. Wide receiver is the first place where I noticed that the Buffalo Bills website and the ESPN websites differed. The Buffalo Bills website had Khalil Shakir, Curtis Samuel, and Mac Hollins starting. The ESPN website has Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel starting, but Curtis Samuel is questionable, so Mac Hollins may end up actually starting because of potential unavailability of Curtis Samuel. Marquez Valdez-Scantling is also questionable. I doubt we're going into that game with only 3 wide receivers, so you may see an elevation from the practice squad of a KJ Hamler or someone like that. I'm going to go blow my nose real quick. Give me 1 second. I don't know what And there we go. Oh. Yeah, I didn't need to hear that. But yeah, I expect to see an elevation from the practice squad from the Buffalo Bills this week at wide receiver if Curtis Samuel and or Marquez Valdez-Scantling cannot play. If that's the case, then that should be expected. And on the practice squad, we have. Let's go ahead and sort that. KJ Hamler and Tyrell Shavers. So one of those 2 guys could be elevated for the game. Let's see. Let's go Buffalo. Good Lord, I hope this week doesn't drag ready for some football. Look, I'm off until Wednesday because of Memorial or Labor Day. And so I'll have 3 days of work, then Saturday, or 4 days of work. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then football. So let's go. 4-day work week, then football. Cannot wait. And I'll be busy all those days because I'll be working, right? So my week should go pretty quick. And then I should be able to enjoy the games just like everybody else. Sit down here, in my man cave, and then put the computer right here in front of me and do the show for you guys. I love it. But yeah. Let's see. So we're going against Arizona with Coleman and players that have never seen a field besides in college and preseason. Kind of, but not really. We're going out there with Mac Hollins. We're going out there with Shakir. We're going out there with James Cook. We're going out there with Kincaid and Knox. We're going out there with Josh. Relax. See, this injury bug really needs to leave Buffalo because for the last 2 years, it's been holding our potential back. Yeah, that's true. That's true. When Anthony Padilla comes, I'm excited for the season to start. I look for Josh and company to show the world we never needed Diggs. I don't think that's true, the last part. Never needed Diggs. I think he did need Diggs to develop his production, right? To get him to the next level, right? To show him what being a quarterback really meant, right? And Beasley and Brown provided some of that. But in the next year, when he got Diggs, Brown, was hurt a lot of that year. He still was getting a lot of screen passes, but he didn't have the ability to really get downfield the way he used to because of the nagging leg injury that he had that year. He still played and he still put up a good, good clip for a person who's injured. But after that, once Josh got to that level and has been putting up 4,000 yards consistently, and then last year with Diggs not really producing much, and the second half of the season is still being that productive, Josh Allen no longer needs Diggs now. I think that he did need him or someone like him. I don't think it had to be Diggs. Like if they were to go and get Devontae Adams, or if they were to go and get, Nuke, or if they were to go and get, one of those top echelon wide receivers, even if it was like a Terry McLaurin, who I think is vastly underrated in the NFL. If they were to go and do that, or let's say they didn't draft Diggs or didn't trade for Diggs, and instead they drafted Justin Jefferson in the spot that he was drafted with our draft pick, I think Josh would have been fine with that. Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in the NFL by some people's thought processes right now. I'm not quite as high on him because of the injury thing. However, I do love Justin Jefferson from a actual talent standpoint. I think he's the best in the league, but he's got to stay healthy. And so I think that he needed someone on the level of a Diggs. And that being said, he got Diggs, who was obviously on the level of a Diggs, and it helped mature him. It helped him get his feet settled, center himself and get right. Now is the time where it's time to grow up a little further and learn to make the people around you better, which Josh has always done. He's always made receivers better. I mean, he made Robert Foster a 650 yard, 7 touchdown wide receiver. He's not in the league anymore. He made Diggs a 127 reception, 1,500 yard, receiver. It's a big jump for Diggs in his career and also for Josh Allen. I think they needed each other to, propel themselves to that new level. And so I think he could have been any other elite wide receiver. It just so happened to be Diggs and them together for, 3 of those 4 years was a beautiful thing. So we'll see what happens going forward. I don't foresee Diggs having a great year this year. I do see him having a good year. I'll say he might have 100 catches, maybe 1,200 yards, and 7 touchdowns. It's a good ass year for a wide receiver. I don't see him putting up near the numbers he was putting up with Josh though, and so that's a difference. We'll see what happens. See, happy Labor Day because I will not see you Monday. I won't either. I will be here, probably helping my son put his bike together, and later on, I hope to catch Kulu's show if I can freaking remember. I try and watch all of our Built in Buffalo shows, but sometimes I get busy and sometimes I forget. See, Josh helped Diggs and yes, exactly my point. Sandra gets it. See, true, but Allen has matured to be a great QB. Yes, he has. He has. You good, man. I understand what you're saying. If I don't, I'll say it. I'll say if I don't understand what you're saying. The first one you said, I didn't understand. I was like, but overrated. Come on now, what? Yeah, you got to hear that one. Anyways, so the wide receiver room, if Samuel and Scantling both can't play, they'll probably elevate one guy from the practice squad, and we'll have 4 active wide receivers in that game. I would think that we're going to see a ton of Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox, and maybe even fullback. What are you, Gilliam? Yep. So you'll see him out there as well. Probably at tight end at times if we run 3 tight end sets, but also in the backfield. So yeah, I'm here for it. See, when are we finally going to stop talking about Stephon Diggs? He is gone, catching 50-yard bombs in Texas, but couldn't catch from here. Hey man, people are going to talk about Diggs. It is what it is. I try to keep my memories of Stephon Diggs fond, even though I know that the ending wasn't great. What ending usually goes great? Not many of them do, unless it's a retirement. The breakup seemed cordial but ugly. So that's a weird way to go, but it is what it is. David, welcome back, buddy. Love having you around. So thank you, old news. The drama and whining is with the Texans now. Yes, it is. Say Julian Cologne, what's good, bro? I'm not seeing Julian in here. Yeah, I'm not seeing him in here. That's crazy. There he is. There's my man Julian. How you doing, Julian? We still got to get together and do something. All right. So, tight ends, we already know is Dalton Knox, Dalton Kincaid, and Dawson Knox. Wow, Dalton Knox. Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox. Quentin Morris is also questionable. This injury bug, as my man Joey said, is a pain in the ass right now. Pain in the donkey. And so Reggie Gilliam's going to have to step up and be that third tight end / fullback. Our offensive line, thank goodness, is healthy. Thank goodness they are healthy. And the starting offensive line, as we know, is Deion Dawkins, David Edwards, Connor McGovern, Osiris Torrance, and Spencer Brown. This may be the best offensive line Josh has had in front of him. Last year's was definitely the best thus far. This line has potential. We'll see. And then behind them, Ryan Vandermark, Cedric Van Pran Granger, Tylen Grable, and Alec Anderson. I like the depth. Is Tommy Doyle on the team? Because ESPN has Doyle there. Yeah, no, Tommy Doyle is not on the team anymore. Either that or he's on IR. That has him as out. He's reserve. Yep, he's on what you call it? Not injured reserve, but the pup list, I think. So yeah, Tommy Doyle's still technically on the team. But all of our starters and all of our direct backups on the offensive line, other than Tommy Doyle, are healthy. And I got a lot of I've got a lot of hope for Tylen Grable. I didn't think he was going to make the team when he got drafted. I didn't think he was going to be much about him. I saw the reports, and the scouting and all that good stuff, and it didn't look good. But it is what it is, man. He's been showing flashes throughout training camp. He's been showing flashes in the preseason, and Tylen Grable proved me wrong. And I've been telling you guys for years, if I'm wrong about something, I will say it. I did not see Tylen Grable making this team before the year started, and I am pleasantly surprised that he is with the Buffalo Bills right now. Tylen Grable, outstanding preseason, outstanding training camp. My man Julian giving me the same energy back. What's up, baby? Let's see. I hope Diggs does well in Houston, but we shut him down when we play him. Yeah, I'm down for that. See, wait till Diggs has 2 grabs for 16 yards while Tank Dell has 10 for 155. Then Houston's soap opera will begin. Sorry, I'm late. Well, Scott Banker, you're not that late. We're only 20 minutes in, and usually the show goes for about an hour, sometimes longer. But today I'll probably be an hour. There's no football to discuss except for next week's, and we're talking about the 53. So the actual 53 last week was my prediction, and I had some things wrong, but I was right about a lot. I was right. I said that we may keep 5 wide receivers, but I put 6 on my list. KJ Hamler did not make the team. He's on the practice squad. The 5 other guys I had, they're here. Dawson Knox, Quentin Morris, Dalton Kincaid. I had Zach Davidson potentially making it, but practice squad, like I thought. Reggie Gilliam made the team. I had him making the team. I had all these linemen, so I was right there. But before the camps and stuff started, Tylen Grable I had missing the roster. Lo and behold, here he is. He made the roster over the likes of what's his face, Lyle Collins. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Very happy with that. See, I have a question. Should we try to get Eli Apple? If you want to hear me out, we can talk about it. Eli Apple, to me, is not better than the corners we have on this team. He's got talent, but I don't think that he has the mental acuity to run in a defense that is, tough in the zone coverage aspect like this one is. I think he's more of a man coverage guy. He's going to be out there manning up because of his speed. He's got very good speed. But he bites a little too hard sometimes, and I'm not really big on that. Really happy to see Andreessen make the team, dude. That's exciting, man. That's very exciting. Hey, man, what you mad for, man? Come on, Roy. You know I love you. See, Julian, yeah, I was wrong about Justin Shorter. I really thought he was going to step up and make the roster, but didn't do anything. Yeah, man, I think we all were because he's 6'5", like 230, 220, something like that. He's a big boy. And if he could have figured it out, he would have been able to really do damage in the red zone. But, we have other 6'4" guys on this team, so I'm okay with that. He was able to clamp down Diggs and Hill. Yeah. Yeah, no, he's got talent. I just think that I don't think he's designed for this system. I think it's like bringing in Kyrie Elam for this system. See, Julian. Okay, yeah, you're talking to Julian. See, no one else at all ever, but those two he was able to, and that's 3 games he can be used for. All right, so we have never played against Stephon Diggs, except I think one time when he was with Minnesota, and it was Josh Allen's rookie year, and we beat that ass. Diggs didn't do anything in that game. Then Tyreek Hill historically does not play very good against us. He did in that playoff game with the Chiefs, but with the Dolphins, he has not done anything. So I'm less worried about that. Sending prayers to Ricky Pearsall and his family. He has been released from the hospital. Thank God he survived that. That's crazy. That's crazy. My man Roy. I saw Eli Apples. I was like, no. Shorter is now with the Raiders practice squad. Okay. Good for him. I'm glad he found somewhere to stick. Maybe he'll learn the game from another coach. Maybe the coaching here wasn't for him. One coach is, great players, another coach is trash player, is what it is. Also, scheme. Maybe he didn't fit the scheme. But that's what's up, bro. I'll definitely be tuning in. Hey, man, you know what's up. You mentioned before that we got to do kind of a thing. I know you got your own little show, so I got my little show here. We can do something. See, I love the guys we have. Don't get me wrong. You're right. I've been wrong before. I was just wrong. So, it happens, but I just don't see him as a fit. And I'm not a fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not a fan. See, Tyreek Hill put out an article on how to beat him. He said, "You jam me at the line, it is over. Why do people not do this? Is he too fast when they try to jam?" I think he's selling wolf tickets there. He's trying to tell you to jam me so that way I can get around you, and then you can't keep up because you didn't give yourself enough cushion. Look at how Christian Benford beat him last year when he intercepted that ball against Miami in Week 18. Was he jamming him? No. So do you think Hyde will return? I have no idea. If someone gets hurt, I hope so. Ashley says hi. Hello, Ashley. See, I see Logan Thomas got a new contract. I guess he's doing okay since converting the tight end. Yeah. Yes, sir. All right. So, moving to the defensive side of the football. The defensive line, no surprise. I was right basically about all that right there. Greg Rousseau, Daquan Jones, et al., Ray J. Panessa. Backing them up are Dwayne Smoot, Austin Johnson, Dwayne Carter, and Von Miller. Javon Solomon. The only one thing I was wrong about here was Casey Toohill made the team. Casey Toohill made the team. Good special teamer, very good motor guy. He hasn't done anything this offseason for us. That's the only reason why I'm confused. But outside of that, like he made the team. And so the Buffalo Bills moving on from defensive line, which I'm happy for because I think that you'll see some rotation with Dwayne Smoot and Greg Rousseau, and you'll see some rotation between Epinesa and Von Miller depending on downs. Short, third down, you got to have the sack. You put in Von, or if it's play you think it's gonna be a run, you put in Smoot, to go heavy. Because AJ is not exactly a run stuffer. He's more of a pass rusher. He's a power rusher. Dwayne Smoot is a power Russian stuffer. He's good at sealing the edge. He's good at getting to the quarterback. He's a good rotational player. He has been for years for Jacksonville. So I'm pumped with that. Dwayne Carter, I saw flashes with him on the in camp and in OTAs and all that stuff. I heard about flashes from him, but they were kind of spotty. Get him on the field, let him get some reps. We'll see what happens there. And Javon Solomon, I loved what I saw. He's got a motor on him like nobody's business, and he's got technique. And he's good at getting low and pushing you into the quarterback's lap. I love that. Let's see. I think Micah Hyde is that kind of player at this point in late in the season or playoffs. He might be a Buffalo Bill again. Yeah, probably. See, I was surprised they kept Casey. I was too. Yeah. See, when a player comes off IR too, he'll maybe the cut player to make room. Could very likely. I think he's one of those guys who could be either that or it's one of the safeties. But I don't see that happening really. I think they want to keep all 5 safeties that they have on the roster right now. So we'll move on to linebacker now. Let's see. Who are you going for, LSU or USC? I don't really pull for either of those teams. I'm a Syracuse guy, so Smoot is coming back off an injury, and he said he's ready to get back to his normal. Yeah, because last year he came back from an injury. He got hurt the year before, and he was coming back from an injury, and he just didn't look good last year. And so now he's a Bill. There he is. Now he's a Buffalo Bill. He just fumbled the jar of peanuts. Anyway. Go Bills. Yes, Ashley. Yes. All right. So linebacker, we already knew Matt Milano's out for the season. He's on injured reserve, or most of the season. We'll see. He is designated to return. So the 6 linebackers that they kept with his empty roster spot, since he's on IR, which empties a roster spot. The starting 3 at Will, Mike, and Sam are Dorian, Terrell Bernard, and Nicholas Moreau. We don't really run a Sam very much, but I think having Nicholas Moreau allows us the ability to run in base formation if we need to. Like if we have a team that's going to be run heavy, we can run in base formation of 4-3. And having linebackers like Moreau, Bernard, and Dorian will give us the opportunity to stop the run in those situations. I think that's going to come in handy against teams like Baltimore, especially with Derrick Henry now in the fold, having an extra bigger guy out there instead of a Terrell Bernard or Taron Johnson. You get somebody else, linebacker stature, who can get out there and put some licks down. I know Taron Johnson's a hitter. I know it, but he's only, 190, 200 pounds. And when you play against Derrick Henry, you're going to need that guy. See, Joey says Moreau is hurt. I'm talking about later on down the line. I'm talking about like week 4, week 5 when we play Baltimore. Right now, he's not going to be active most likely. We'll probably go with 5 active linebackers, and they'll likely be Dorian Williams, Terrell Bernard, Adefwan Ulofoshio, Joe Andreessen, and Balin Spector if he's able to go. If he's not on the practice squad, we have no linebackers. So, yeah, that's just what it is. We'll probably carry an extra safety. They could always elevate Lewis Seen. He's a good size safety, 5'10", 196, or excuse me, 6'2", 199. I had the other guy, Kareem Jackson. He's 5'10", 196. So, yeah, we've got other safeties we could elevate if we needed another linebacker type player. But I'm thinking against like the Baltimore Ravens that you would see Nicholas Moreau being healthy again. And then if we need to be able to stop the run against Derrick Henry, that's when you break out that 4-3 package. You want to be able to use the packages you need against the teams that you need them against. No, that sounded like some crazy word salad, but in this case, it means something. Against a team that has Derrick Henry, you're going to need to really put that down. You're going to really need tacklers. And again, I know that Taron Johnson is a tackler. Derrick Henry throws people his size. He launches them in the air, and they go flailing like Josh Norman. So I don't want to see any more of that. I want to see our boys make the tackle and keep the game ahead of them, keep themselves right there. So I know he's probably out week 1. Now, Joe Andreessen making this team and being where he is in the depth chart, they have him at will. I'm guessing he's probably going to be the backup middle linebacker this week. Balin Spector is the backup middle linebacker right now. If he's not healthy and good to go, you'll see Joe Andreessen be the backup middle linebacker, and you'll see Adefwan Ulofoshio being the backup will linebacker. And you'll probably see them rotate in a little bit because you don't want to, put your starters in there for too much. You'll see Terrell Bernard probably get 90% of the snaps, but when he needs a break, you got guys who can play. See, Lewis Cine also runs a 4.37. Mm-hmm. Very fast, good size safety. Had a good preseason. The kid we got from the Vikings, yeah, Lewis Cine. I like that kid. He's very young too. He was a first-round pick. He just didn't fit their scheme anymore. They got a new DC, Brian Flores, and he didn't fit there. And we all know Brian Flores. If you don't fit what he's doing, he's going to get you up out of there. And that's exactly what happened. Lewis Cine, solid player. I thought that the pickup of him was good for the Bills. And if we're down a linebacker and we need somebody to go in, you elevate Lewis Cine. Now, cornerback, we already knew it was Rasul Douglas. We already knew it's Taron Johnson at nickel, and we already knew that it's Christian Benford holding down the spot at the other cornerback spot with Kyer Elam and Jamarcus Ingram backing up Rasul and Christian Benford, along with Brandon Codrington now as the backup nickel back. I hope Brandon Codrington can play if something ever happens to Taron, but if not, we do still have Daquan Hardy on the practice squad. So if something happens, we can elevate him, and I think he will be the guy. I think that Brandon Codrington is here purely for special teams purposes, and you'll probably see a safety hit the nickel spot or be a big nickel if that's the case. Let's see. Love the linebacker room. I do. I do too. I do too. See, Dalton Smith was good, my friend. Oh, okay. See, McD, a DB guru, he can get the most out of Cine. I think so too. Yeah, he's especially a safety guru. If you go all the way back to Philadelphia, Sean McDermott has been able to coach up safeties. Like they had Quentin Michael, who was late round pick, made him look good. DeMar Hamlin, late round pick, until he had the, Commodore Cordis incident. He was playing good football that year. He wasn't playing great football. He wasn't playing bad football. He was playing good football, good enough for the Bills to be in the position they were. And, did we miss Micah Hyde? Yeah, we sure did. But we had a guy in there who was holding on the fort and doing good. Solid tackler, decent in coverage. If you caught the ball in front of him, you were going down right then and there. And so he's been able to coach up these guys. And really, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer weren't really anything special before they got to Buffalo. So I've said that many times, and they came here and they shined. And thank God for Bobby Babich Sr., who had history with Jordan Poyer already and was like, hey, go get this guy. This guy knows how to play. You will not regret it. I'm so glad that we had Bobby Babich Sr., because that also resulted in us now having Bobby Babich Jr., who looks like a superstar in the making of a coach. So, yeah, I think, personally, I think linebacker is one of our weaker position rooms. So you can love the room even if you think it's weaker. Like you can love the guys, right? Like I love Terrell Bernard, and from what I saw of Joe Andreessen, I really liked what I saw out of him. Adefon Ulofoshio, what I saw from him at Washington, I really liked. Dorian Williams, I'm waiting for that click. I'm waiting for him to be able to grasp it, but I think that the guys in the room can perform. I really like Balen Spector. If he stopped getting hurt, he's a glass cannon. He's always hurt. Something always going wrong with that car, man. It's like a Geo Prism. Like it'll run, but it's just something's always freaking messed up on it. And so it's reliable when it works. I like Balen Spector, but he's just hurt too often. But yeah, cornerbacks, man. Rasul Douglas, Christian Benford, and Taron Johnson. All three of them top 20 corners PFF grade last year. Love our corners. I really love our corners. And Sandra said you were right about Hyde and Micah. Those are the same person, but I know you meant Hyde and Poyer. So I got you. But yeah, I think that's gonna be a very good group right there. They were good last year, and now having a year, or most of a year in the system with Rasul Douglas, and then an off season to really get the playbook and really get the terminology and really understand more. I think Rasul Douglas is going to have a hell of a year. He's going to have a hell of a year, even though I think this will be his last year in Buffalo. I think that he's going to go off, and then someone's going to end up paying him big money, and we won't be able to afford him. And yeah, that's the sad truth about Rasul Douglas is we can't keep everybody. He's going to be 30, or he is 30, one of the two. And unfortunately, he's going to be one of those guys that shows up, plays really good, but we just can't afford to keep, which hurts my heart. He is 30 years old now, yeah, so he's already 30. We've been in the league 8 years. And you just never know when the wheels fall off. So, unfortunately, it is what it is. See, Spectre is an M1 Abrams with a Toyota Corolla engine. Beast of a player, but can't get it done. Yeah, you can't get it done if you're on the sidelines, right? It is what it is. That motor can't carry that big body. It'll move a little bit, but it's not going to go very far. Now, the safety room is a place of concern, and not because of the players who are there, in my opinion. Again, I just talked about DeMar Hamlin, and I think that DeMar Hamlin can play. But he's questionable, and so is Cole Bishop, and so is Mike Edwards. So we got 3 guys who are questionable, and then we have Taylor Rapp and Cam Lewis. Cam Lewis, the last few years, has come along for me. I think that, for me, he has come along, and he has become a true backup safety in the NFL. He's serviceable, and if you need him in a pinch, he can go out there and do the job. Problem is, him and Rapp are the only 2 guys who are actually fully healthy right now, and that's hard to really grasp and understand. But again, you have Lewis Seen and you have Kareem Jackson, both on the practice squad, available for elevation, and we'll see what happens. But 3 safeties being questionable is tough. 3 safeties being questionable is tough. I don't think all of them are going to miss the game because questionable isn't out. But questionable is still, you got something going on, got something lingering. Why is this happening to my show? I got like burps and yawns. I don't like it. But no, Jacob, we don't have the Dolphins playbook. We will have some information on Dolphins thanks to Mike White, but we don't have their playbook. But we really don't need it because we whipped that ass anyway. So what does it matter? But yeah, the Buffalo Bills safety room is a little concerning, but again, they do have 2 good safeties on the practice squad that they can elevate, and Sean McDermott can go ahead and work with them and see if he can get something out of them. There we go. I love that comment right there. We own Miami. We own them. I'm not scared of Miami. I don't even worry about them. They are none of my concern. Call it what you want. You can call me cocky. You can call me whatever, but they don't stack up to my Bills. Now, the safety room is a bit concerning. Special teams, I know some of you guys are real concerned with Tyler Bass. For me, I'm not as concerned. If he starts missing field goals in games, call me concerned. But he's only missed 1, and it was over 50 yards this preseason, so I'm good with that. I will be concerned if he starts missing field goals in real games. We'll see what happens. Sam Martin, punter, holder, solid punter, good holder. So we'll see. Punt returner, Brandon Codrington, and kick returner, Ty Johnson, Brandon Codrington, and then long snapper, of course, Reed Ferguson, who, funny enough, did not have to play the whole go wait in your car, we'll have you back in 10 minutes, thing with the whole getting cut and then being brought back. He just flat out made the team. So, yeah. So I love giving TD crap. Hey, you're actually really respectable when you give TD crap. You're really respectful when you do it. So hats off to you because I be giving TD that business, baby. I know he had a show on. He was on live when I was coming on live. So I had my YouTube open, and his show was AFC East Conversation with TD. What's at stake for each team? Even though he spelled 4 wrong, he left the F out, so it's or each team. But I'm sure he'll fix that later. But yeah, man, TD Fins Talk. If you guys ever want to troll the Dolphins page, go to TD Fins Talk on YouTube. Hilarious. That dude is delulu. He is delusional. And he's a Dolphins fan, so what'd you expect? But yeah, he's a very delusional Dolphins fan, and he's been saying the same thing the last like 4 years, 5 years. I've been watching the AFC East Roundtable, even back when it didn't have its own channel, and I do fully support those guys. Those are my guys right there. I love those guys. They're great. Dan Mitchell is my dude. I've met him in person. Very, very good guy. Met his parents in person down in South Carolina. He's in Florida now, but yeah, that's my dude. He does this full time now. Hopefully one day I'll be able to do this full time as well, but we'll see what happens. Let's see. Watched a Texans Bills Madden simulation, and Bass missed the field goal. Madden is pretty real. Hey, look, I'm loving Madden. I'm loving Madden. I got my Buffalo Blue controller, and yeah, I'm currently in the hero class online in Madden. There's only one class above hero, and that is legend. But guys, the show's almost done. It's actually a little shorter than I thought it was going to be today, but that's fine. I just want to make sure that you guys understood what I feel about this team. I'm actually very optimistic about the offense. The entire offensive line is healthy. Josh Allen, after all those years of having Stephon Diggs, he's going to have a chance now to prove that he can go out and make guys who are talented and are coming in from either rookie deals or from other teams that just didn't have the quarterback play. And even his own homegrown wide receiver, Khalil Shakir. Jesus. Josh Allen's going to have the chance to take his new targets in Curtis Samuel, Keon Coleman, Mac Hollins, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and then his own homegrown guy, Khalil Shakir, along with tight ends Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, Quentin Morris, and Reggie Gilliam, along for the ride. He's going to be able to go out there and he's going to be able to help them grow as players, and they're going to be able to help him produce on the field. This offense is going to be more of a running thing this year. We're going to see a lot more runs, and that's why Ray Davis is a fantasy sleeper. So remember that, guys. And, the offensive line being fully healthy gives me very little pause about the offense. I think that Josh Allen's going to do a phenomenal job, and I really do like what I'm seeing from this Buffalo Bills offensive side of the ball. The defense, with all the injuries, is a little more concerning, but I think that they'll be fine. Like Austin Johnson's a little hurt. We have defensive tackles on the practice squad that we can elevate. Also, Dwan Smoot can play defensive tackle and defensive end. So can Greg Rousseau if we need him to go in there in the pinch to replace Ed Oliver for a little bit. Also, linebacker. I'm missing so many guys, but we usually run 2 linebackers. We're going to see what happens with the defense, man. The injuries on defense can concern me far more than they do on offense. And so, with that being said, guys, if you guys got questions, I'm down to answer some questions for the next, 5 to 10 minutes. Let them fly. So go Bills. Have a great night, Mafia family. Happy Labor Day to all. Happy Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. It's always one of those holidays that I never really understood, but I'm glad that we have it. I have to do my research on Labor Day because I just never really knew what it was. Call me sheltered, I guess. See, in my opinion, our depth is pretty solid at the moment, unless we have any more Matt Milano type starters get hurt. Stay healthy, boys. Hey, that's the goal, man. Be healthy, and hopefully we can start getting guys back. And if any bad news happens, that we can go out there and find players in the trade market or in free agency that can come in and take some snaps and be good in this defense. There's still guys out there on the market. Those were the days. You talking about that Sega Genesis, man? Yeah, I used to love me some Sega Genesis. I still bust out the NBA Jam every now and then. That was my heat right there on Sega Genesis. See, is McGovern a better blocker than Morse? Yes. So if he can snap, it's an upgrade. Edwards has played at a Super Bowl level in his career, I'm optimistic about the O-line. I'm with you there. To me, that's a very well thought out take, right? Let me go ahead and PFF this up. I think that McGovern is a better pass blocker than Mitch Morse. So if I pull up Mitch Morse, I go through grades. I know some people don't put a lot of stock in PFF. I put a little more stock in than most people do, but that's it's neither here nor that's fine. If you don't, you don't. Connor McGovern. I gotta remember there's two of them, and they're now both centers, and they both have mustaches. All right, so Connor McGovern, pass blocking grade last year 74.2. Mitch Morse 74 even, so that's pretty dead close. Run blocking grade for Mitch Morse 62. McGovern's was a 48. Yay. So yeah, I'd say Morse is the better blocker, but pass blocking, they're dead even, and that's really what the concern at center is. Can you get your head up and block? See, it's a paid day off. That's what matters. You are damn right. It is a paid day off. And check it out. This weekend is my 3-day weekend. Every other weekend I alternate, right? So I get a 1-day weekend and a 3-day weekend, right? So I work 5 days, and then I'm off Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Then I work 5 days, and I'm off Sunday. And I work 5 days, I'm off Saturday, Sunday, Monday. But because of this paid vacation, I have a 4-day weekend. Let's go. And it's got paid, so I have time to sit down and look at my bills and see what I can and can't afford. My son's birthday just passed. I gave my daughters money for their birthday, which is next week. Like, their birthdays are so close together, like August 29th and September 8th, that being able to look at my funds and then say, okay, these are here. I can afford to give these girls this. I can afford to give my son this for his birthday, and everybody just be happy. I'm blessed. I'm truly blessed. See, I'm ready for football. You and me both, Sandra. Let's go. See, who from the 2022 draft class is going to get a contract? Ooh, that's a good question. Buffalo Bills 2022 draft. I believe that's the Christian Benford, Kaiir Elam. Yep, Kaiir Elam, James Cook, Terrell Bernard, Khalil Shakir, Matt Ariza, Christian Benford, Luke Tenuta, and Balin Spector. So I expect to see Kaiir Elam get his 5th-year option accepted, right? He hasn't made any Pro Bowls, so he's making the small amount for the 5th-year option because of his draft position. He was picked in the 20s. So his 5th-year option money would be, let's see, Kaiir Elam contract, because he's not in a contract year this year, but he would be next year. Let's see. No, not Sportskeeda. Not really a fan of their website. Don't hate it, but So 5th-year option available. So what would his 5th-year option be? Come on now. All right, there's no answer for that. But I do know it's not a big amount. But yeah, Kaiir Elam, I expect him to do his 5th-year option up after this season. After his 3rd year, I believe, right, and going into his 4th year, they have to accept it or decline it. I think they're going to accept it because they're not going to be able to afford Christian or Rasul Douglas and Christian Benford. Because Christian Benford was drafted in the 6th round, he will then be eligible for a contract after his 3rd year, which is this year. He'll get an extension. Terrell Bernard's going to get an extension. Khalil Shakir, I believe, will get an extension with a good year this year. And I think Balin Spector will make the team after that, but he's going to be a veteran minimum player. He's not going to be a guy who gets like a big, long extension. Balin Spector's going to be a guy who just kind of holds on to a roster spot, maybe even a practice squad spot. We'll see what happens. But Benford's going to get paid. Kyrie Elam's going to get his fifth-year option put on him. Terrell Bernard and Khalil Shakir will be extended. I think that James Cook, he's a running back. The Bills have not shown a tendency to sign running backs to big contracts and extensions. Like, they inherited LaShawn McCoy from Rex Ryan, right? As soon as they had the opportunity to get out of that contract, when he showed decline, they got out of that contract because he showed decline. Then they brought in Devin Singletary, who was going to get you 80 yards per game, right? That's just his average. You know, at least last year in Houston it was. In Buffalo, you know, probably 50 or 60 per game. He didn't carry the ball, you know, as heavy as he would have in college. They always had a secondary back. They didn't keep Moss. They didn't keep Singletary. I don't see them signing James Cook to a big extension. He'll get signed to a nice large deal elsewhere, unless he can't find a deal elsewhere. Then at which point he'll be back in Buffalo on a cheaper deal. But I don't foresee them giving him a big extension. But Kyrie Elam, 5th year. Terrell Bernard, we'll get an extension. Khalil Shakir, we'll get an extension. Christian Bedford, we'll get an extension. And Balin Spector will stick around on the practice squad or as a veteran minimum player. And that's what I see. Spencer Brown is due a contract after this season. I don't think he gets one. I don't think he gets one. See, I'm with you. Those hot days where we had, I'm over that. You and me both. See, is there any level of play that you can see from Von Miller, the players, to make you be okay with the option 10 sacks? I think 8 to 12 sacks is good for Von Miller this year. I think he's going to be a situational pass rusher like Leonard Floyd was for us last year. I'm predicting he gets around 11.5 sacks. To me, that's a good number. His snap count is going to come down. It's going to come down not from last year, because last year obviously wasn't that much. He didn't really play until after Thanksgiving, and he just didn't look the same. This year, I think he'll look more like the old Von, even though he's 2 years removed from the old Von and 36 years old. Pass rushers typically can play later. Look at Jerry Hughes. Like, he went to Houston, rattled off 10 sacks at 36. I think that you're going to see that number of plays dwindle down, and in situations where we need to get to the passer, that's when he's going to go out there. He'll be fresh, and the offensive tackles he's going to be playing against are going to be tired from going against AJ and Smoot all game, or Groot. You know, if Groot's got to come out, which I don't see Groot coming out that much, but I see Dwan going over there, and it'll be Smoot and Groot on one side, and it'll be AJ and Vaughn on the other, most likely. But Smoot can play both sides, and so if you see a obvious running situation, you put Smoot in there because he can do both. But he's really, really good at seizing the edge. He's an improved Shaq Lawson. But I think that when it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, you're going to see Vaughn go out there and they're going to get after him, go get him. So he'll see 35 to 45% of the snaps. He's going to get what Epinesa has been getting lately, and in that he'll be more productive. I know when he got here, he was preaching about, I want to be out there for 70% of the snaps because I can't get there as often as I want to if I'm not out there as often as I want to be. Like, no, you're not that guy no more. And thank God he took a pay cut. So we'll see. Let's see. There's more to it. Impact in a Super Bowl run, realistic speaking. So I think it's realistic that he would help in a Super Bowl run if he produces at that level. And if he's fresh because he didn't see the field so much in the playoffs, we're going to have a guy who can really get after the quarterback. We've been missing that. Like, he was supposed to be that, and then he got hurt on Thanksgiving. And in the playoffs, our pass rush evaporates. We can't have that. We have to have our guy in the playoffs. The playoffs are what's most important for Von Miller, in my opinion. That's just the way it is. Cut and dry. Von Miller is that guy. All right. Guys, that is my show. Oop. Bill's 13-4. I hope so. That'd be good. Guys, that is my show. It has been an hour. You guys have all been wonderful as usual. I will see you next week right here on the Built in Buffalo YouTube Facebook and X channel again for the Buffalo Bills Redzone Report postgame show following the Arizona Cardinals versus Buffalo Bills with Built in Buffalo co-founder Akeem Richens. I am the longest tenured Buffalo Bills content creator on Built in Buffalo, aside from the co-founders. And let's go Bills, baby. Let's go Bills. I already see y'all in the comments. Go Bills. Go freaking Bills. Football's back. Let's ride to this victory on Sunday. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. I am so hyped. You have no clue. You have no clue. Go Bills. I love you all. God bless. And yeah, buddy. You can see it on me. You can see it on me. I cannot wait. But guys, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Go Bills.